Chapter 15, Our Environment. In this chapter, we learn everything about an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? What are parts of an ecosystem? Etc. etc. So let us start from dissecting the word ecosystem. Eco comes from the word ecology, and ecology means things around you, your environment. And system is a setup in which there are participants, there are leaders, there are followers, etc. etc. So every ecosystem is made up of two main parts, that is the living and the non-living. So right now I am in this room. This room is also an ecosystem where I am the living component. The laptop camera is the non-living component. The air condition, which is helping me to sit stably and teach for hours, together creates an ecosystem. Let's read from the textbook. An organism such as plants, animals, microorganisms, and human beings, as well as physical surroundings, interact with each other and maintain balance in nature. There is a balance between two things: the living things such as plants, animals, microorganisms, and the physical surroundings. Physical surroundings means jungles, deserts, ponds, rivers, lakes, land, sky, etc. All the interacting organisms in an area together with non-living constituents of the environment form an ecosystem. So that's your basic definition of ecosystem. All interacting organisms and non-living constituents of the environment is an ecosystem. Ecosystem के जीवित and non-जीवित, living and non-living components together create an ecosystem. Thus, an ecosystem consists of biotic components, means living, and abiotic components, means non-living. For example, when you visit a garden, you will find different plants living, grass living, trees, flowers, plants, rose, jasmine, sunflower, animals like frogs, insects, birds, all are biotic living components of ecosystem called garden. And they grow, reproduce, and use their energy. Where do they get their energy from? They get their energy from the surroundings. And surrounding is full of abiotic components. And abiotic components means forests, ponds, lakes. They are all natural ecosystems. So this is just basic introduction. Let's not get too much into it. This is the main chart which you will remember by heart. If you know this chart, the entire chapter is here for you. So let's start one by one dissecting the components of ecosystem. So once again, an ecosystem is made up of two types of factors: abiotic, biotic. Abiotic means non-living components. Let us break down and look at in detail the non-living components of an ecosystem. Non-living components, abiotic components, are divided into two types. First is climatic and second is edaphic. Climatic components means rain, light, wind, temperature. Imagine your parents have gone to Shimla and Kulu Manali. What will you ask them? How is the weather? Right? और जब weather बोला या how is the climate, then the climate is described as it is rainy, it is windy, it's very hot, it's very cold, it's a lot of light, it's cloudy. Everything related to this is called climate. But इसका उल्टा नीचे देखोगे तो it is the edaphic factors, everything related to soil. तो जमीन से जुड़ा हुआ फैक्टर इज edaphic, क्लाइमेट से जुड़ा मतलब ऊपर. Edaphic factors contain what kind of soil, black soil, lava soil, this soil, that soil. pH, it's about acidity, acidic soil or basic soil. मिनरल्स ज़्यादा है कम है कौन से है. एंड टोपोग्राफी, माउंटेन्स है, वैलीज है, फ्लैट प्लेन्स है, सॉल्ट डेजर्ट्स है, एक्सेट्रा. सो हाउ इज योर एनवायरमेंट? दैट एंटायर थिंग is abiotic component. An environment contains climate and edaphic factors. Next, we look at biotic components. Biotic components means living components. So, which are those living components? The living components are divided into three parts. They are producers, consumers, एंड डीकम्पोजर्स. प्रोड्यूसर्स का मतलब होता है ऑटोट्रॉफ. कंज्यूमर्स का मतलब हेट्रोट्रॉफ्स एंड डीकम्पोजर्स आर सेप्रोट्रॉफ्स. बट दिस वर्ड यू विल नॉट फाइंड इन टेक्स्ट बुक, so no need to pay too much attention to it. Biotic components, living component. Living thing means plants, animals, bacteria, insects, everything. But it is categorized. Those animals or those living organisms which can make their own food, photosynthesis, they are called autotrophs and they are called producers. Plants के बाद आते हैं herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous animals, those who eat, those who are dependent on other animals. They are called heterotrophs or consumers. And producer और consumer जब मर जाते हैं, then their bodies are eaten away by microorganisms and insects. Those are called decomposers. So entire living cycle is made up of producer, consumer and decomposer, and they all are divided into parts like this, जहाँ पे here you will have the producer. And remember what I told you, producer is the plant. Plant does photosynthesis and plants are autotrophs. ये सब एक ही चीज़ है. प्लांट्स को कौन खाता है? प्लांट्स को खाता है कंज्यूमर्स, एंड कंज्यूमर का फर्स्ट लेवल इज प्राइमरी कंज्यूमर, हर्बिवोरस एनिमल्स. Secondary consumers, primary carnivores. Tertiary consumers, large carnivores. And quaternary consumers are omnivores. And if I have to give examples, then it will be something like this. Grass, producer, eaten by grasshopper, primary consumer या herbivorous insect. Eaten by rats, secondary consumer, primary carnivorous. Eaten by snakes, tertiary consumer, large carnivorous. Eaten by man and eagle, quaternary consumers, omnivores. So this is kind of a mini food chain, and that creates an ecosystem. Once again, ecosystem. Components of ecosystem are of two types, biotic and abiotic. Abiotic are non-living factors, biotic are living factors. Non-living factors have two parts. ऊपर देखोगे तो climate, नीचे देखोगे तो edaphic. Climate contains rain, temperature, light, wind, etc. And edaphic factors means everything related to soil. Soil, pH, minerals, topography, etc. Living factors में तीन तरह के living beings होते हैं. One, those who can produce, others who are consumers, and the last is decomposers. Producers are the green plant called autotrophs. Consumers are primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary. They all are called heterotrophs. And decomposers is bacteria and fungus. They all are called saprotrophs या saprophytic मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन चैप्टर 6 में दिखा था. A different view, but an interesting one. We have done nitrogen cycle, carbon, oxygen cycle, etc. This is also a cycle. This is a cycle of life. And this cycle is driven by one most important thing. Can you guess? Can you see the diagram and find out who is driving this cycle? The cycle is driven by solar energy. The sun is driving the cycle. ખબર છે ચકરડી હોય કે ચકડોળ હોય એને હાથેથી ફેરવવું પડે तो कांस्टेंट धक्का देता है आदमी तब वो घूमता है मैरी गो राउंड. वैसे द सन इज कॉन्स्टेंटली पुशिंग आवर सिस्टम, तब ये साइकिल चालू रहती. द सोलर एनर्जी इज ट्रैप्ड बाय द प्रोड्यूसर्स प्लांट्स. हाउ? फोटोसिंथेसिस. फोटोसिंथेसिस का जो मटेरियल है दैट इज ईटन बाय कंज्यूमर्स or herbivorous and carnivorous animals. Plants die, they go to the decomposers. Animals die, they also go to the decomposers. And what do the decomposers do? They destroy the body, they decompose the body and give back all the raw material to the nature. एवरीथिंग इज गॉट बैक बाय द नेचर. और वही नेचर में से वापस प्लांट्स विल टेक एंड मेक न्यू फूड, न्यू एनर्जी एंड न्यू लाइफ विल कम अप एंड कंटिन्यू लाइक दिस. What is so special about this diagram? Why did I include this diagram? Is for one important reason, to understand every time it's an energy cycle. Solar energy becomes plant energy. Plant's energy goes into the deer. The energy of the deer goes into the lion and tiger. And when they all die, the energy goes back to the atmosphere or nature. तो ये साइकिल में important चीज है ये देखना that at every movement, at every stage, there is a loss. This is called loss. And energy is lost at every level, and therefore there are 2 or 3 levels of eating. Look at my previous example which I gave you. Grasshopper eats grass, rat eats grasshopper, snakes eat rats, and man and eagle eats snakes. Nobody eats man, nobody eats eagle. 1 2 3 4 5 लेवल है. ऐसे 50 लेवल हो ही नहीं सकते, बिकॉज what is happening here is the first energy source is the sun, and sun gives the energy to grass. Grass gives energy to grasshopper. Grasshopper gives energy to rat. Rat gives energy to snakes. Snakes give energy to man and eagle. First important point to notice, man cannot give back the energy to the snake, क्योंकि snake मर चुका है. Snake ने चूहा खा लिया, अब वो अपनी एनर्जी चूहे को वापस नहीं कर सकता. Energy cannot go in reverse direction. First thing. Second thing to notice is there is loss of energy at every level. क्यों लॉस होता है? ये फ्यूचर टॉपिक है, मैं अभी समझा देता हूँ. अभी से सन gave 100 energy to earth. How much can grass capture? 10. नहीं, 70 रख. 30 got wasted in the journey, got reflected back, etc. So grass has captured 70 energy, but grass needs to live, grass needs to grow, reproduce, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, तो ग्रास 10 खुद यूज कर लेता है, और फिर ग्रास हॉपर जब उसको खाता है तो ग्रास हॉपर को क्या मिला? 60. बट ग्रास हॉपर हैज टू लिव, ब्रीथ, ग्रो, डिवाइड, मल्टीप्लाई, रेप्लिकेट, रिप्रोड्यूस, डू वट एवर इट, एंड फ्लाई. फ्लाइंग नीड्स एनर्जी. ग्रास हॉपर 60 में से 20 एनर्जी यूज करके 40 शरीर के अंदर जमा करता है, जो चूहा खा जाता है. तो रैट को मिला 40. But rat also has to use lot of energy. Rat uses 20 and passes the rest of the 20 to the snake. And snake also uses energy for itself, and last 5 becomes the food of man or eagle. What is happening is at every stage there is energy loss, and that energy loss is actually energy usage. Remember that in an ecosystem. So the yellow lines, heat energy is lost all the time, and energy keeps on decreasing from one level to another. This is a pyramid of, it is about herbivorous, carnivorous, it's about population. किसका population ज़्यादा है, lion का कि grass का? Obviously grass, because grass is a producer, and 1000 kg of grass, if it is there, only then there will be 100 kg of herbivorous possible. 100 से 110 kg हो गए तो बाकी के 10 kg मर जाएंगे, क्योंकि उतना घास ही नहीं है खाने के लिए. And if 100 kg of herbivorous animals are there, only 10 kg of carnivorous animals will be there. Because if there is more carnivorous animals, तो herbivorous पूरे खत्म हो जाएंगे, which nature doesn't want. And if there is 10 kg of primary carnivorous, the top carnivorous will only be 1 kg. Now you count this in terms of kg or understand it in terms of population. इससे इतना समझ में आता है कि फूड चेन में जो नीचे है that has large population, और जो ऊपर है उसका population कम है. Same way there is aquatic food chain, and in aquatic food chain the size keeps on decreasing. Producers are very small in size, उनको खा के herbivores are medium sized and carnivores are large sized. So it's just to understand aquatic and terrestrial means land based ecosystem, how do they work. This is very simple. There are two types of ecosystem: aquatic and terrestrial, water based, land based. Water based ecosystem are of two types: salt water and fresh water. And freshwater ecosystems are river, lake, wetland. Coming to terrestrial ecosystems, zameen ke ecosystems, the forest, which is completely different from desert, which is completely different from grasslands, and completely different from mountains. So this is general knowledge. This is not very important question. You have to remember that natural ecosystems are of two types, aquatic and terrestrial, and this is how they are divided. But what about man-made ecosystems? ये natural है, तो man-made भी कुछ होगा, है. Man-made ecosystems are called gardens, crop fields, agriculture, aquarium, artificial ponds. So we have man-made ecosystems also, which you have seen. Now this paragraph starts to slowly talk about ecosystem, and this paragraph is talking about producers. Who are producers? Plants. What do the plants do? Photosynthesis. While doing photosynthesis, some bacteria can also do photosynthesis. So plants and bacteria do photosynthesis. They are called producers, and they use the energy of the sun. And while using the energy, they produce sugar and starch. Some of the words which should be added here is autotrophs and photosynthesis. Producer, autotroph, photosynthesis, plants, sun, solar energy, all is one single story which you already know, which this paragraph is discussing. And all the food which plant makes is stored in the form of sugar and starch. The next paragraph talks about consumers. Who are consumers? Consumers are those animals who are dependent on the plants, who are non-photosynthetic, who cannot produce their own food, dependent. Example, herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous and parasites. और इन सब के लिए एक सिंगल वर्ड है हेट्रोट्रॉफ्स. Autotrophs are photosynthetic, but here this group of consumers are heterotrophs, means non-photosynthetic, dependent on plants or other animals for food. So remember, consumers are of three types: herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous. And sometimes a consumer is also parasite. Parasite lives inside our body, harms us, keeps on eating us, but does not kill us. So one paragraph on producer, next paragraph on consumer, and now the third paragraph on decomposers, who are the cleaning agents of the environment. Imagine a situation where you do not clean the aquarium. अब ये aquarium कहाँ होता है हमारे पास? In last 5 years, I bet half of you would not have seen aquarium. But okay, aquarium where fish lives, if you don't clean, the water becomes dirty. Therefore, you have to clean it properly. Why does it become dirty? Because constantly the fish is excreting in that water. Therefore, you need to clean it. Similarly, our environment needs microorganisms like bacteria, fungi to clean the dead bodies. Plants and animals की जो dead bodies होती है, that needs to be removed from the environment. और remove करके कहाँ डालेंगे? It just decomposes. It breaks down. Breaks down from what to what? It breaks down from complex organic substances to simple inorganic substances. कॉम्प्लेक्स चीज़ों से टूट फूट के सिंपल चीज़ बन जाती है, और वो सिंपल चीज़ का क्या होगा? इट विल बी रीअब्सॉर्ब बाय प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स अगेन. सो इट्स साइक्लिकल. सो आई ईट फूड, डाइजेस्ट, make my body, and then when I die, all the components of body goes back to the environment. So decomposers, after living things die, their dead bodies are decomposed by bacteria and fungus by breaking down complex organic matter into simple inorganic substances. That's the third part, decomposers. Next is food chain and food webs. You already know what is a food chain, and food chain have levels, and each level in language of science is called a trophic level. The first trophic level of any food chain is always green plants. Autotrophs, which are called producers, which are the plants, form the first trophic level. Plants को खाता कौन है? Heterotrophs, who are consumers. But which consumer? Primary consumers like herbivores, they form the second trophic level. उनको कौन खाता है? Another heterotrophs, who are also called consumers. They are secondary consumers, and they are carnivorous because they are eating the herbivorous animals, and that makes the third trophic level, and so on and so forth. You can see how simple it is. ऑटोट्रॉफ का एक ही लेवल होता है, बाकी सारे हेट्रोट्रॉफ्स. प्रोड्यूसर सिर्फ एक होता है, बाकी सारे कंज्यूमर्स. और कंज्यूमर्स में देयर इज प्राइमरी कंज्यूमर, सेकेंडरी कंज्यूमर, टर्शियरी कंज्यूमर. प्राइमरी कंज्यूमर इज ऑलवेज हर्बिवोरस, rest all are carnivorous, and they all together create trophic levels. So if I have to discuss once again the same old food chain which I had created in last slide, grass eaten by the grasshopper, eaten by the rat, eaten by the snake, eaten by the man or eagle. Here you can identify all the details. Who is autotroph? Grass. बाकी सारे heterotroph. Who is producer? Grass. बाकी सारे consumer. कंज्यूमर में हु इज हर्बीवोरस? ग्रासहॉपर. बाकी सारे कार्निवोरस. एंड लास्ट इज ओमनीवोरस, हु कैन ईट प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स बोथ. एंड द ट्रॉफिक लेवल्स विच वी आर डिस्कसिंग हियर, वो स्टार्टिंग से ही होता है. द फर्स्ट थिंग इन द फूड चेन इज द फर्स्ट ट्रॉफिक लेवल, सेकेंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ, fifth trophic level. Flow of energy. This paragraph talks about what is the source of energy for the planet and how does energy flow in an ecosystem, which I've already explained you some time ago, that sun is the major source of energy of this planet, and sun gives energy to autotrophs. Autotrophs give energy to heterotrophs, and when autotroph heterotroph die, the decomposers get their energy. And this flow of energy is unidirectional. Nobody can change the direction in reverse order. It is impossible. And something special is happening. That something special is loss of energy at each trophic level. There is loss of energy at each trophic level. Why is energy lost? Is given here. Energy is lost in the four things which organisms do. First, heat. बॉडी को गर्म रखने के लिए बहुत एनर्जी यूज होती है. What is the body temperature of human being? 37 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. एंड 37 डिग्रीज मेंटेन करने के लिए आधे से ऊपर खाया हुआ खाना यूज हो जाता है. तो वी पुट फूड विच इज द फ्यूअल टू रन दिस बॉडी. एंड वेयर इज द एनर्जी गोइंग? इतना हम क्यों खाते हैं? क्योंकि आधे से ऊपर से टेम्परेचर मेंटेन करने में यूज हो जाता है. और अब कल कोई शेर आके मुझे खाएगा, उसको पूरी एनर्जी नहीं मिलने वाली मेरी बॉडी में से. सो आई ईट 100. The 100 is not in my body. 50, 60, 70 is used up. Only 30 is there in my body. And this 30, lion can eat if he catches me. So energy is lost in the form of heat from every organism. Doing work. Every organism moves here and there, eats, blinks, thinks, lives. उसमें energy use हो जाती है. Every animal has to grow. And every animal has to reproduce. So heat, doing work, growing and reproduction, all this together uses of lot of energy. समझ में आया? तो नेक्स्ट लेवल को कितना एनर्जी मिलेगा? लेट्स रीड दिस पैराग्राफ. The green plants in terrestrial ecosystem capture about 1% of the energy of the sunlight. Important objective. Sun gives a lot of solar energy and only 1% the plants lock. Rest is reflected and wasted. એ ઢોળાઈ જાય છે. ખાલી 1% લોક થાય પ્લાન્ટ્સની અંદર. Now, when we eat plants, how much energy do we get from the plants? 10%. Where is the 90%? So when we eat, we get 100%. 90% is used. Heat energy, moving, running, talking, giving lectures, studying, playing, growing, reproducing. बचा 10%. कहाँ? हमारे शरीर के अंदर. Now when somebody eats you or me, how much will that get? उसको जो भी मिलेगा उसमें से 90% वो यूज कर लेगा and only 10% again will be transferred to the next trophic level. That means at every stage the energy is decreasing. That's why we don't find lakhs of tigers, because we don't have that much energy to feed them, because they are at a higher level. और जितना ऊपर होगे उतनी कम एनर्जी पहुंचती है तुम तक. That's why we don't see lot of carnivorous animals. But when you talk about herbivorous animals, there are herds of thousands of zebras in Africa running around here and there. Thousands of zebras live together, but lion, tiger, 2, 5 or 10. Because energy at every trophic level decreases. Only 10% is available for the next person to eat as food. Rest 90% is used up. And therefore, food chains are not long. The food chains generally have only 3 or 4 steps because the loss of energy is very, very high. There is generally a great number of individuals at lower trophic levels. वो triangle वाला photo देखा था, that at lower trophic levels the population is high, which is the producers. The length and complexity of food chain varies greatly. Each organism is generally eaten by 2 or more other kinds of organisms. So सच में in practicality food chain जैसा कुछ नहीं होता. तो food chain नहीं होती, food web होता है. Food is not a single chain. Food is an interconnected web. Population at lower trophic level is high and population at higher trophic level is low. Remember that for objective. These are 3 food chains. Trees or plants are eaten by herbivorous animal, deer. Deer is eaten by tiger. फिर grass, grasshopper, frog, snake, eagle. Plants, crab, fish and a bird. These are called food chains. But they are interconnected. How? This is how. अगर मौका मिला तो हमारा जो फ्रॉग है वो ये वाला प्लांट खा सकता है. अगर मौका मिला और ग्रास हॉपर पानी में गिरा है तो ग्रास हॉपर कैन बी ईटन बाय दिस फिश. अगर मौका मिला, there are snakes which can swim and catch the fish, then snake will eat the fish. और अगर ये क्रेन को स्नेक मिल गया इंस्टेड ऑफ फिश तो वो भी खा सकता. ईगल फिश खा सकती है. बहुत भूख लगी और टाइगर को कुछ नहीं मिला है तो टाइगर पानी में कूद के फिश खा सकता है. टाइगर फ्रॉग खा सकता है मजबूरी में अगर कुछ खाने को नहीं है. द डियर कैन ईट ग्रास. सो this is called a food web. It is entirely interconnected and that's the reality. Food chains are not real, they are just theoretical. वो लिखने के लिए होता है, असली लाइफ में होता है food web. And what happens in food web? Energy transfer. And when energy is transferred from one trophic level to second, there is loss of energy. What will you keep in mind is this while writing this topic? Two most important points about flow of energy. Number one, the flow of energy is unidirectional. एक बार ग्रास हॉपर ने ग्रास खा लिया, उसको एनर्जी मिल गई, दैट एनर्जी कैन नॉट बी गिवन बैक टू द ग्रास. सिंपल. And second, energy at each trophic level gets diminished or decreases due to loss of energy. Biomagnification. ये देखो, ऑलरेडी दिस इज कॉल्ड अ रियल फूड वेब. वो फूड चेन था, बट फूड चेन की जगह फूड वेब्स आर रियली इंटरेस्टिंग, that who is eating whom. And you can see the blue lines created here. These blue lines are showing us trophic levels. So I will also use blue and continue the lines. This is autotrophs. Autotrophs are plants. Plants are producers. They are photosynthetic and create the first trophic level. Plants are eaten by consumers. Consumers, which type of consumers? Herbivorous. Trophic level 2. Then carnivorous. Trophic level 3. अगेन कार्निवोरस एंड लास्ट में ओमनिवोरस हो सकता है. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड अ फूड वेब, एंड इन दिस फूड वेब देर इज अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ बायोमैग्निफिकेशन. What is biomagnification? That I will explain you now. In agriculture, in farming, we are using hundreds of chemicals. Pesticide, insecticide, fertilizer, fungicide, so many chemicals which goes into processing of our food, making food, cleaning food, that finally when we have a plate served full of food, it contains lot of chemicals, and these chemicals are creating this concept of biomagnification. So let us understand what chemicals and how do they enter by looking at this diagram. We'll start from the first trophic level, the plants. Plants are grown by whom? The farmer. And farmer, as I said, is using chemicals. Horrible chemicals जो actually use नहीं करने चाहिए, but because there are 6 billion population, now 7 billion population of the world, we don't have enough food. If we stop using chemicals, we'll not be able to grow food properly. So, farmers are using chemicals, and these chemicals become a part of the plants. कण कण में प्लांट के केमिकल ही केमिकल भरा हुआ है. नाउ ये केमिकल युक्त प्लांट्स कौन खाएगा? हर्बीवोरस. एंड हर्बीवोरस एनिमल्स को कुछ काम नहीं होता है, दिन भर घास खाते रहते. इट्स ईट, रिप्रोड्यूस. व्हाट डज एन एनिमल डू? सो एनिमल कीप्स ऑन ईटिंग ऑन डेली बेसिस, और हम एक महीने का हिसाब करते हैं, 1 month का हिसाब. One plant has one chemical. One plant, one chemical. Two plants, two chemicals. You eat 4 plants, you will get 4 chemicals. अब रैबिट को प्लांट खाना है. रैबिट रोज एक प्लांट खाता है. So in 30 days, how many plants is he going to eat? Rabbit. So one chemical in one plant. Rabbit eats 30 plants in a month, which means he has 30 chemicals in his body. And these chemicals are not biodegradable. You cannot digest them, you cannot remove from your system, they remain inside and they create diseases like cancer and kill you. But it's a slow process. तो रैबिट में 30 केमिकल आ गए 30 डेज में, क्योंकि उसने 30 प्लांट्स खा लिए. अब रैबिट को खाता है बेर, भालू. एंड दिस बेर ईट्स 4 रैबिट्स इन अ मंथ. महीने के 4 रैबिट चाहिए उसको. तो उसके अंदर कितना केमिकल गया? एक रैबिट में 30, तो 4 रैबिट में 120. इस भालू को कौन खाएगा? टाइगर. और टाइगर को महीने के 2 भालू चाहिए. इन अ मंथ ही कैन ईट 2 bears. So tiger is going to get all the chemical from bear's body. 120 के 2 installments, 240. Did you observe what farmer has done? Farmer simply used little bit of chemical in the plants, but that little bit chemical became large amount in carnivorous animals body. जो भी फूड चेन के टॉप पे है उनके बॉडी में भयंकर ज्यादा केमिकल्स पहुंच गए. एंड यू नो द वर्स्ट पार्ट, टाइगर इज नॉट एट द टॉप ऑफ द फूड चेन in or the food web. In reality, it's you and me who are at the top of the food web. It's the human who eats everything under the sun and he is collecting chemicals from everywhere. That's called biomagnification. So remember the concept. Biomagnification is increasing of chemicals in one person's body because you are eating bad food. Biological magnification. Chemicals enter plants due to human polluting activities like using fertilizers and pesticides. From plants, they enter herbivorous animals. From herbivorous, they enter carnivorous animals, and at each level, the amount of chemical keeps on increasing, magnifying. That's called biomagnification. And it is not possible, they cannot always be removed by washing or other means. तुम सब्जी धो के खाओगे लेकिन सब्जी के अंदर केमिकल पहुंच गया है. That's why we need to learn better techniques of agriculture and stop using chemicals. This is a quick revision, revising the flow of energy. By now it's the 10th time I'm telling you that flow of energy on this planet is unidirectional. You cannot give back the energy and there is a huge energy loss which happens at every level. 2 objective questions which you should remember is, sunlight से producer को जब energy मिलती है तो कितनी energy producer पकड़ सकता है? Just 1%. And when producer is eaten by herbivorous, herbivorous by carnivorous and carnivorous by top carnivorous, only 10% energy is transferred. Rest 90% is lost for personal purposes. How do our activities affect the environment? हम जो भी काम करते हैं दुनिया में उससे environment पे क्या असर होता है? It's a very simple topic. There are 2 major asars which are discussed here. One is ozone and second is waste disposal. So our wrong activities affect the ozone layer. So we'll start discussing what is ozone layer. Little bit you already know. The formula of ozone is O3 and it's a special molecule which protects us from the deadly solar UV radiation. अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन सनलाइट में से आता है साथ में ही, और वो रेडिएशन को ओजोन ब्लॉक करता है एंड प्रोटेक्ट करता है हमको. ओजोन इज डेडली पॉइजन. याद रखना, ऑक्सीजन इज लाइफ गिविंग when it is 2 atoms together, but oxygen can kill if there are 3 atoms together, which is an ozone layer. तो ओजोन लेयर ऊपर स्काई में ही अच्छा है, नीचे नहीं आना चाहिए. We should not inhale ozone, otherwise you will be dead. So at lower levels in the atmosphere, we get oxygen for breathing. And at higher levels in the atmosphere, we get ozone, which is necessary for UV protection. Why are UV rays harmful? UV rays are harmful because they can cause skin cancer in human beings and other problems. Ozone formation, एक मार्क दो मार्क में आ सकता है. That who made ozone, how ozone was made. Ozone was made naturally from our routine oxygen. The oxygen which we breathe has created ozone. How? This is the process. यूवी ने खुद ही ओजोन बनाया है और प्रोटेक्शन शील्ड बन गया यूवी रेज ने. हाउ? देयर इज thousands, millions, billions, trillions, gazillions of atoms of molecules of oxygen in the atmosphere. Everywhere there is oxygen. This is our planet. This is the end of the atmosphere. Now UV rays enters from the sun, and that UV ray hits one of the oxygen, and the minute UV rays hits the oxygen, this oxygen, which is O2, gets divided into two single oxygen atoms, and these two single oxygen atoms immediately recombine with another free oxygen molecule to create O3. And this O3 create a shield so that the harmful UV radiation coming from the sun are blocked and do not harm the planet. तो खुद यूवी ने ही यूवी प्रोटेक्शन का सॉल्यूशन दिया है हमको. So UV rays make ozone for us. Oxygen is broken down into two oxygen atoms by UV, and that oxygen atom combine with oxygen molecule to form ozone. But what are we doing? We are growing at a mad rate. We are creating large industries, and these industries are creating large amount of pollution. This large amount of pollution is added by the automobiles which we use, the aeroplanes which we fly. इतना गंदा aeroplane. And all this is destroying ozone. Ozone gone, ozone gone. And if ozone is destroyed, the bad UV rays get a chance to enter the environment of the planet, and that hits us everywhere and creates problem for us and the environment. So we have to do something about it. What has to be done about ozone depletion? Ozone कम हो रहा है because हमारे chemicals ozone को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं. The problem is ozone depletion, which started in 1980s. क्यों 1980s में? Because during this period a new chemical had come called chlorofluorocarbon. It was an important chemical, a good chemical, जिसका यूज बहुत अच्छा था, but हमको ये नहीं पता था that eventually this chemical will go up and destroy our ozone. So we did start to use them in refrigerators and air conditioners and fire extinguishers. But then we started observing that the ozone is getting destroyed because of this CFC. And therefore, within some period, we decided something. And what was decided? In 1987, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, UNEP banned the use of CFC around the planet so that the CFC levels come down. And we were successful. CFC level came down. Ozone started rebuilding itself back to 1986 levels. And second problem, apart from ozone, is garbage which we produce. We are producing so much of solid waste, और ये solid waste में सबसे ज़्यादा plastic है, और plastic is non-biodegradable. So that's where the chapter ends, where we have to take care about ozone layer and take care about the garbage which we produce. How is garbage or how is decomposition happening? When a plant or an animal dies, the body mixes with the environment. How is that possible? Bacteria, decomposers. But what does bacteria do? What do they have so that they can make things biodegradable? They have enzymes. And these enzymes we also have. और हर एक एंजाइम का एक ही काम होता है रिएक्शन करवाना, केमिकल रिएक्शन. सो व्हेन वी ईट फूड, वी ईट लॉट्स ऑफ फूड. वी ईट vegetarian food, non-vegetarian food, seafood. Some are easy to digest, some are difficult to digest. ये सब खाना digest होता कैसे है? By use of chemicals. And which chemicals? Enzymes. So enzymes are chemicals which help us digest food. जो रोटी गोल गोल थी गई अंदर, उसके बाद कैसे निकली पता है तुमको? Whatever goes in comes out in a different way. That's decomposition. When a tiger dies, tiger is a 200 kilogram animal, but when it is decomposed, it's literally nothing. And that is thanks to the enzymes. Any chemical which breaks down complex molecules into simple molecules is called an enzyme. And every bacteria, fungus who are decomposers, they have these enzymes. And this enzyme makes things biodegradable. But the worst part, we have created a poison called plastic, and plastic को digest करने का कोई enzyme नहीं है. There is no enzyme which can digest plastic. Therefore, no matter which bacteria you put on plastic, it is non-biodegradable. And that's why we have to worry about the garbage which we produce on this planet. Non-biodegradable substances remain in the environment for a long time and harm the ecosystem. So try not to use plastic and try to use other alternative items which are biodegradable over a period of time. How can you change things on this planet? By an improved lifestyle. Our lifestyle causes garbage. The lifestyle of having water in disposable glasses. You go to any fancy office or you go to any common public place, there are plastic cups. Drink, throw. आजकल तो लगन में, मैरिज में बॉटल होती है. There is no glass of water, there is a bottle of water, and you drink at least 4 bottles of water. If 500 people are invited, 2000 bottles were used and thrown. And those 2000 bottles in one night is going to remain on this planet for 1 billion years. Can you imagine that? Nature ऐसा है that nature creates and nature destroys. But plastic is something which nature has not created and nature cannot destroy it. And if we try to destroy it, we end up creating pollution. So best is don't use plastic. Don't use disposable material. Improve your lifestyle. और आज का lifestyle ऐसा है that we believe in wastage but we have to change one day willingly or other day compulsively. Second, more and more disposable items are used, which generates more waste. Packing material is mainly plastic, which increases non biodegradable waste. Avoid packing material. Don't buy polythene bags for this and that. हाथ में उठा के जाओ, paper bag, cotton bag लो, etc. So this is like an English essay about being eco-friendly as the last part. Disposable cups in trains were given once upon a time, but the Indian Railways started introducing kulhards. Kulhad is a earthen pot, मार्टिनो नानकड़ो कुंडो है, एंड उसमें से ये बनाते हैं. बट ये भी कुछ सोल्यूशन नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट अ सोल्यूशन बिकॉज disposable cups made up of plastic pollution, non-biodegradable, okay, but kulhad are hard to transport. They are very very heavy. You know, 100 glasses, घर पे पार्टी है, 100 ग्लास तुम थैली में लेके जा सकते हो. 100 कुल्हड़ के लिए ट्रैक्टर बुलाना पड़ेगा. So who will use kulhad? Nobody. Kulhad is breakable. Half of them breaks in no time. Who will use it? कुल्हड़ को फेंकने का प्रॉब्लम होता है. They are so heavy. उसके लिए प्लास्टिक बैग मंगाओ. So the basic discussion is, you are young, you are the future of the planet. Create solution in such a way that it can be applied everywhere without any argument. तो रेलवे ने प्लास्टिक कम करने के लिए कुल्हड़ इंट्रोड्यूस किया, बट कुल्हड़ इज equally big headache for railways and India. So think before introducing anything. Thank you.